Good morning, Knicks Nation. I hope everybody is well. Happy Friday morning to all of you. And I hope that you're healthy and safe wherever you are. Today, I want to discuss two things. I want to discuss what draft workouts mean. And I want to discuss that with respect to Precious Achiuwa. We're going to talk about Precious Achiuwa today. Draft workouts, okay, in general, are of no use except in one area. Draft workouts will confirm what you already know about a player. If you scouted a player, if you looked at a film of the player, the draft workout will confirm, if you've done a thorough job of scouting and analyzing the player, what you already know. It shouldn't be something that changes your mind unless for the negative. Okay. It's almost like a test drive. You already know you want the car. You already searched the car. You've analyzed stats on the car. You know this is the car you want. Now you're test driving the car to make sure that everything is exactly how you expect it to be. That's what a workout. Like, for example, yesterday I was watching a workout that Terrell Terry was doing, and he was dunking the ball. You know, he had, looked like he put on a couple inch or two, like looked like he was on a good 6'2", maybe 6'3", weighed about $170. Still was light, maybe $170. But he dunked the ball, 2 hands, 1 hand, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking to myself, I'm not going to draft Terrell Terry because he could dunk. I'm drafting Terrell Terry because he could shoot. And so during the course of the workout, he also did a variety of shots from different places on the court. And that confirmed what I already knew about him as a shooter. And that's what you're looking for. Okay. But mostly it's a risk on the player's part, because if it's me looking at it, because all you could do is hurt yourself, because I'm looking to see, are you hurt and you're hiding it? Did you get hurt between the end of the season and now? Are you hiding some sort of injury? I'm looking to see, did you get yourself out of shape? You know, from the end of the season, am I drafting something that looked different than I last scouted you? I'm just looking to confirm what you want. See, for example, when the Knicks picked Kevin Knox, I was a little nervous about the reason Scott Perry gave for picking him. Okay. They knew that he was young. You can see in the videos of his freshman year, he had a low motor. He had motor issues, right? So when he came in the workout and they had him work out with Mikal Bridges and Miles Bridges, and apparently he blew them away because he dominated the other two players during the workout. That's what sold him on the workout. That could have been just a day, he was hungry, And as we see right now, 2 years later, he still has motor issues. See, the workout didn't tell you anything about that. And so you can't put a lot of stock in a video workout unless you're just looking to confirm what you already know about the player. You're not going to see anything new. If you've seen a player that played a season with 30 games or 2 seasons, you're not going to see anything new in the workout. They're not all of a sudden going to jump, when they were jumping 30-inch verticals, they're going to jump 42-inch vertical. That's, you're not going to see anything new. You're just going to confirm the skills. Now, one thing you cannot confirm unless you actually talk to the player is what's in here. The workout's not going to tell you anything about their basketball IQ, about what kind of character individual you have. Okay? It's not going to tell you anything about that. You got to talk to them for that. And that's why they do these interviews. My assumption is this is why they do the interview. So that brings me to Precious Achiuwa. This draft, man, I'm telling y'all, the best part of this draft is outside the top 5 for sure. There, I'm telling you for sure. I hope the top 5 go in the top 5 so that the better players stay available for the Knicks to pick, because this draft is loaded in the middle of the first round, man. And even later, it's loaded. Like, okay, so the best shooter in the draft is Terrell Terry. He's projected to go 20 something, 21. Maybe now Phoenix is looking at him. They've interviewed him twice, and they've interviewed Kyra Lewis twice, because Phoenix is looking for a point guard. But the best point guard in the draft, to me, overall, could be Malachi Flynn. And he's projected to go anywhere from late first to second round. He could be the best point guard in this draft. That's amazing, isn't it? I mean, that's what kind of time. So Precious Achiuwa. This kid has talent, man. I mean, he can do it all. And he really does have a Bam Adebayo style game. The thing, this kid, I mean, first let's start off with this. He fits all the check boxes I'm looking for the Knicks. He can guard multiple positions. He can guard 1 through 5 right now. He can play center or forward. He can play the 4 or the 5, because he came to Memphis to play the 4 alongside James Wiseman. Then Wiseman, of course, we know his season ended early, and then Achiuwa ended up playing the 5. He can do either one. So he can guard 1 through 5. He can play multiple positions, and he plays offense and defense very well. So, yeah, he fits those check boxes. Can run the floor, can play with high energy. Not consistently. We're going to talk about that. But when he's ready, he can play with high energy. Handle the rock. He can handle the rock on the open floor. When he wants to, he's a good passer. When he wants to be, he can be a good passer. He's not a good jump shooter. He's a good mid-range shooter. But a 3-point shooter, he's not. Now, I believe he can develop that. I mean, he could develop into a good 3-point shooter, but it's iffy. So he has to have the right coaching staff. His footwork is bad on his jump shot. He takes off balance shots a lot. And the fact is, the boy has so much natural talent. That's what carries him. But he does have some IQ also. Cause I listened to 2 interviews. Cause I was having real questions about his character after the first interview, the combine interview he did. But I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, because, the combine interviews have a whole bunch of people coming at you, and he's probably traveling from place to place and tired. So he looked withdrawn from the combine interview. He didn't look engaged at all. Like he was, see, to me, the combine interview and subsequent interviews, you're interviewing for a job. Your job is NBA, right? So you're interviewing for a job. So, but he didn't appear to have that. He did indicate pretty much every team has contacted him. Pretty much every team has contacted him, including the Knicks. He said the Knicks contacted him before the lottery. The Knicks contacted him in July. That's the same thing that Halliburton said. Halliburton said only 3 teams had contacted Halliburton. Also, that had a Zoom interview with him. Only 3 teams at the time of the combine interview. Only the Knicks, the Golden State Warriors, and the Detroit Pistons had actually talked to Halliburton. We should remember that. Only 3. But anyway, Precious had been contacted by everybody, and he said the Knicks contacted him in July before the lottery. So they've been looking at him for a minute, which is good. Rebounds. Boy can rebound, man. I think he averaged 12 rebounds a game, in his freshman year here. I think he averaged 12 rebounds a game in his freshman year. He has 13 rebounds. He was 19 and 13. And block shots. He could be, he's really good. And when he's engaged, his IQ comes out. So I wasn't satisfied with the first interview. So I said, so Mike Smith does an interview with each player going over their pluses and minuses. And I looked at a few minutes of the second interview he did. He did 2 interviews with Precious. The second one, all right, it started off bad because you're in an interview and he has his braids all over his face. He has his braids all over his face. So it wasn't like he pulled them back so you could see. He had his braids all over his face and his hair was like this. But then Mike Smith was asking him about certain plays he did and asking him about, how he guards 1 through 5, and his face kind of lit up and he got into it. So it's hard. He's a kid, but he's 21. He's not like 18 or 19. He's 21. He came to Memphis at age 20. He didn't come at 18. I think he played at Mount Verdi or something like that beforehand. He actually is from Nigeria, but he was raised in the Bronx. So he's from the New York area. Then he went to Mount Verdi as a, prep school or whatever. And so he came to Memphis at age 20. But, so it's, his mindset is hard to gauge. But one thing for sure, he's going to need a good vet. When the NBA, when the rookies come in, usually a vet is assigned to them to help them, with the NBA, with the lifestyle of the NBA. So, they usually have a vet, and he needs a good, solid vet assigned to him to help him. He don't need another young kid assigned to him. He needs a vet. Somebody that's been in the league a good while, like a Taj Gibson. This is where Taj, if they drafted Precious Achiuwa, they would definitely, if I'm Tom Thibodeau, I'm having him be with Taj Gibson as much as possible. He needs that. Okay. Also, this is a side. Both his parents are Pentecostal ministers. Now, they have a thing called, PK, preacher's kids. And sometimes preacher's kids, can rebel against everything they've been taught. I don't know if he'll do that, but he has that aura about him. And that's just another scary thing. It's like, okay, he has two ways he could go. First of all, as a basketball player, he's an NBA player. And he's got all-star talent. There's no doubt. He's got all-star talent. Precious Achiuwa, talent-wise, the sky's the limit for him. He could do it, he could become what he wants to become. But I see two ways. I see Bam Adebayo on the positive side. And then there was a player that came out he came out in the early 2000s. Some of y'all might have remembered him if I mentioned his name, Josh Smith. Y'all remember Josh Smith from Atlanta? He could become Josh Smith, which is not very good. I mean, Josh Smith had all the talent in the world. But for some reason, he thought he was a 3-point shooter, and he wasn't. And he would, argue and debate and still hoist up threes. Okay? Now, when he was in Atlanta, he was coached by Woodson. And Woodson has a way of handling players like that properly. He has a touch with them, and he was good. But then even he wore his welcome in Atlanta, and he ended up signing a $54 million deal in Detroit. After 1 year, Detroit bought him out. After 1 year. So he signed a 4-year, $54 million deal, and they paid him to go away. Okay? So you don't want that. So he's going to need good structure. He's going to need a good vet. He's going to need support around his teammates. He's going to need support. It's good that he's from New York in a sense because the bright lights may not do to him what it might do to somebody that's from a smaller town. But we have to if we were to draft this kid, we have to be very careful with him because, like I said, it's not his talent. He's got talent. And when he's engaged, this is the thing. When he's engaged, he could become easily the best player on the floor. When he's engaged. Like I said, he's not a 3-point shooter. He can play the 4, but, and maybe he could develop a good jump shot. It would take some discipline. And that brings me to another problem. He can be undisciplined on the floor. And he has a little Julius Randle in him in terms of he's a black hole when he gets the ball. And he forces bad shots when teammates are open. That's what I'm saying. So several times he would get the ball, go into the middle of the floor. He had people on the 3-point line on both sides of him and didn't even look. And he has 2 guys on him. And he oftentimes he was double team or triple team. Didn't even look for an open teammate. Just tried to force a shot. Okay. Now somebody might say, well, that's coaching. Yes, it is. If he wants to be coached. You understand? That's what I'm wanting to see in his interview. Can this boy be coached? Guess what I'm saying. And I don't know. Can he be coached? Can Thibodeau and Woodson is, in this case, Woodson is the perfect guy for him. Because Woodson, like I said, Woodson was with Josh Smith and got him to play for him. J.R. Smith became 6th man of the year, and J.R. Smith, and the difference is Josh Smith and J.R. Smith both came straight out of high school with all-world talent, but had head case problems. And this is the thing, a kid that's in college or in high school with all-world talent like Precious, now you signing him to a rookie deal with guaranteed money. Okay, and he's lottery talent. This kid is lottery talent. I mean, he on the Tankathon Big Boy, where is he ranked? He is ranked 12th. He's ranked 12th. They got him going 12th to Sacramento. Sacramento's not the team for him. I would not. Unless Zebo was there. Zebo is not there no more. Zebo would be that vet to help him. I don't like him going to Sacramento. For his own sake, I don't like him going to Sacramento. That's not the team for him. Okay, no. But they got him going 12th, right? That's in the lottery. So he's going to get lottery money. And I'm not sure he's emotionally ready for that. That's my problem. I'm having a problem thinking you put all that money in his pocket. Sometimes with a kid like that, it's like a light to dynamite. It's just going to be a problem. Okay. So, yeah, he's going to need some support. He's going to need a support system, but, and he's 21, but he's not a mature 21, if you know what I'm saying. Talking to Jalen Smith's 20 and he's a mature 20. Halliburton 19, Halliburton like he's 28 already. This kid Precious, you can see him playing video games. You can see, so when he's engaged, passing, shooting, rebounding, running, high energy guarding anybody on the floor, this kid has all that. He does. He has all that. And 6'9", 223, and he could guard point guard. One, he could guard twos, he could guard threes, he can guard fours, he can guard fives. And I mean guard him. This kid has all NBA defensive ability. Matter of fact, see Josh Smith, when he was at Atlanta, he was all NBA defense one year. See, that's what I'm saying. It's similar. Their size is similar. The only thing Josh Smith was left-handed, but he had the same type of talent. Now, with Precious, he's going to need that discipline. He's going to need, I would actually model Bam Adebayo's game and have Precious play the same game. Like Bam doesn't take a lot of threes, right? I wouldn't have Precious taking a lot of threes, but I would have him breaking the ball up the floor. I would definitely have him initiating the offense sometimes. Breaking the ball up the floor, handling the rock, guarding 1 through 3, rebounding, blocking shots. You're going to get a really good player. If you could keep him like that, if you could discipline him to stay like that. He does. I notice, and this is the thing I see. See, I see some things that, I'm just saying, I look for some things that even the people that do these videos don't see. And some of them are very good. Like there's a couple of guys that do some really good videos on scouting of these players. And I look at their videos and then I take my own assessment. He does take plays off. Okay. When he's not engaged, he'll take a play off. And you can tell because whereas he's moving, he's looking, and in his second interview, I noticed that he did know a couple of, I like when, a player has paid enough attention to know the opponent's plays. I'm very high on that. If you're paid enough attention in preparation so that you know what the opponent's getting ready to do, I'm very high on that. And he does that. He does that sometimes. But then he decides to take a play off sometimes. Okay? Offensively or defensively. He sometimes does. He just checks out. Now, that could be a problem. See, these are little red flags. They're not big red flags. They're little red flags. And I can see, like, even with Josh Smith, after he left Atlanta, he went to Detroit and something happened. He stunk up the place with the locker room and the coaching staff, and they paid him to go away, he still had other teams looking at him because that's how immense his talent was. This guy's the same way. I wasn't surprised when he said all the teams talked to him because that's how much talent this kid had. But you really going to need structure with him. You're really going to need structure. The new New York Knicks with Tom Thibodeau, Mike Woodson, Johnny Bryant, Walt Perrin, and Payne, Kenny Payne, the new New York Knicks. And they really are the new New York Knicks. This is a different type of staff than they've ever had before. This will help him. And Taj, if I got a kid like this, I have to re-sign Taj because this is a kid Taj Gibson needs to hang around. And the Knicks they really do with some of their younger players. They got a good camaraderie. Frank, Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox. They got a good camaraderie off the floor. That will help him as well. So that combination of the vet with the young boys that click, I think that would help him, So, as far as ranking, I would take Patrick Williams before him. I would take Jalen Smith before him. They're both safer. Okay, they're both safer. And in terms of Patrick Williams, I already told y'all, Patrick Williams, I'm really high on him. That kid could be the deal. This kid too, this draft is amazing, man. I mean, like I said, I hope people get suckered into taking, LaMelo and Denny, please take them boys off the board early. And then of course, let somebody be enamored with Edwards and take him. I'm not saying Edwards is no scrub now, but there's some players in this draft that, like I said, the best player in this draft is outside the top 5. I'm trying to tell you, the best player in this draft is outside the top 5. And maybe even outside the top 8, because like I said, if the Knicks get Devin Vassell or Halliburton, it'll be very good, man. Like I said, to me, Halliburton is not really a point guard. He's a guard. He can play point. He can set up the offense. And he can play off ball as well. Smart kid, run the floor in terms of without the ball. But Malachi Flynn is a point guard. And I think he can be the all around in terms of offense, defense, passing, shooting, IQ. I think Malachi Flynn really could be the best point guard in this draft. It's amazing. After seeing, all of them, LaMelo Ball and RJ Hampton and Halliburton and Killian Hayes. Like I said, I'm not dissing Killian Hayes. I just don't think he's ready for the time. Like I said, I'm trying to get us to 35 wins this year and build on that. And first of all, that, Killian's going to need a year as a point guard. He's a young man. So I'm taking Halliburton off the table in this little equation because, like I said, he's more than just a point guard. He's a basketball player, so I'm not putting, but Malachi Flynn is better. Like he's 22, he's ready to come in right now. He can help a team 35 wins, But like Kyra Lewis, he talented, but he's not going to help you with 35 wins this year. Now if Phoenix chooses him, it's going to be interesting to see how this works out, because they're going to have to be patient with him. But Precious Achiuwa, he is lottery. He should be a lottery talent. There's no question. Again, one of these players that if everything works right for him, if he's in the right system, right structure, he could be the best player in the draft. Come down the road, he could be a multiple-time All-Star. He's got that type of talent. He really does. But we can't tell what's in here. What's going on? What is he going to be able to handle it? We don't know. Like I said, we really need, if the Knicks got him, we got the right situation for him right now. I wouldn't have wanted him to come to the Knicks when Frank Ntilikina was drafted. I wouldn't have wanted him to come to the Knicks when Frank came. Because that was a bad situation. And then, as y'all know, no development staff at all, But here, right now, it's a better situation for him. Sacramento, I don't know. Luke Walton, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I hope he don't go to Sacramento for his sake. I hope he goes to a better situation. Or I hope he don't go to Minnesota either, God forbid. Too many young players. You need some vets, man. He needs to be on a team with some vets to help him out, man. So that's Precious Achiuwa. Tell me what y'all think. Again, talent above any, superstar talent. We don't know what's in his head. Little out of control, little undisciplined, but he has all the tools. He even has some IQ in there. We just have to get him in the right situation where he can be structured and come along properly. San Antonio, Miami, Boston, and I can say New York because of the staff we got. I'm not talking about record wise, but New York, because of the staff we have. If he gets drafted by any of those teams, he'd be in much better shape coming in those systems than he is with us. If he get drafted by Boston, it'd be a waste because they so stacked. I don't even know. I don't know how they would do that because they got Robert Williams, but whatever. I don't know what he would do it there. But Miami, San Antonio, New York, these, Denver, Denver also. If he came to them, these teams, he would be in pretty good shape. When Doc Rivers was there, I'd have said the Clippers, and maybe still the Clippers because they didn't hire Tyronn Lue. So, and they got good vets over there, obviously. So, but I don't know how much of a leader Kawhi is. I don't know. That's another cat. You don't know what's in his head, but yeah. So it's certain. And then now that Philly has Doc Rivers, I would have to say Philly. But I'm not sure yet. Let Doc Rivers coach them for a year or two and let them develop some things, But he needs the right team. Our boy needs the right team. But he really is talented. And what everybody's looking at, I'm sure, if you're scouts and GMs and NBA, you're just looking at his talent and saying, man, grab this kid. That's what everybody's thinking. That's why he's interviewed with everybody. He's got that kind of talent. But for him to really realize what he can become in terms of all-star status, in terms of long-term success and no problems outside the court, he needs the right team. Tell me what you think. Please have a safe and blessed weekend. Shalom.